Nothing's perfect. Not even the Nintendo Switch. These are my top 4 reasons to wait on picking one up. Number 1. No native voice chat. The Nintendo Switch has been a great console and has online gaming capabilities, although that's only half true as the Nintendo Switch still doesn't have dedicated voice chat natively on the console. This is a bigger deal than Nintendo seems to realize, as this is essentially the core of online gaming. It's all about communication with other team members. Look at Doom or Payday for instance. Both games are perfect examples of why native voice chat is crucial on a modern console. Payday can sometimes feel broken or unplayable on the Nintendo Switch, as you have no way of letting your fellow bank heisters know of cops' locations, objectives, or even suggested actions. Doom suffers from the same equation, as you need these basics for a good online game. Nintendo's answer has been a very lazy phone app that is more a headache than a convenience to use, as I've heard. So some developers have done the right thing and taken the matter into their own hands. One developer in particular, Epic Games, has gone above and beyond and implemented the voice chat option through their game, Fortnite. This is commendable and the path that we need to see more developers take. Or best of all, Nintendo can do it and have it readily available to all developers and finally make the Nintendo Switch as modern of a console as it can be. Number 2. No streaming capabilities. The Nintendo Switch doesn't support an internet browser or any multi-region streaming services such as Netflix, YouTube, or Twitch. Rather, there are currently 2 streaming services on the platform, Hulu and Nico, and those are exclusive to the States and Japan, therefore alienating the rest of the planet. It's at least been said from Nintendo that these services will come in time, but sooner is better than later, since this may be the point that some consumers are waiting to have addressed before they go in on a Nintendo Switch. And for those who have already purchased the console, can have something to watch to keep entertained during those game droughts, where you either don't have a hand to game with since it's being used to enjoy a delicious meal in front of you, or maybe you finished The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and you're saving for your next game. You can use the console in the meantime for streaming rather than it just collecting dust. Or finally, in the unlikely case that none of the games currently on the platform have any appeal for you, then these services can hold you down in that downtime. So let's hope these services get implemented sooner than later. Number 3. Battery life. The battery life could have been a little bit more ambitious. Don't get me wrong, this is a completely usable battery and is most likely the best one that Nintendo could have put into the Switch to keep costs down. Nevertheless, I can't help but feel some of those power attacks in games such as Wolfenstein 2 or Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild drain the battery too quickly for my liking, and it really feels amplified during the summer months that we're currently in, as heat causes the battery to be drained a lot quicker. It's just the nature of the situation. The Switch has a pretty beefy fan for cooling considering the size of the console, and for good reason, as obviously Nintendo realized that it would be draining the battery and possibly bottlenecking the performance of the console. But sometimes it doesn't feel enough to keep the battery cool to last as long as it should. More than likely this will be corrected in the future iterations of the Nintendo Switch. For now, all we can do is try to keep the Nintendo Switch in a cool spot with ventilation space in handheld mode to maximize battery potential. Number 4. Games cost too much compared to other consoles. Games on the Nintendo Switch come at a premium cost, it seems. And that is when you find a game on the PS4 or Xbox One that sells for $39 and then on the Nintendo Switch it sells for $69 or even $79. The reason for this is the Nintendo Switch uses cartridges instead of CDs, and the cost of cartridges are almost double that of CDs, so when the developers are bringing their game to the Nintendo Switch, they need to buy the cartridge first to put the game software on, and then they need a return on that investment, and that's where the consumer has to pay almost double for some of the games to get that money back to the development team. Another way we can look at this is that you're paying a small premium to have the ability to take the game with you anywhere you go in portable mode. This is the unofficial reason that games cost more, but it's one that I'd like to tell myself. Most likely in time, the cost of cartridges will come down significantly, and that will help correct the prices of games on the Nintendo Switch.